India's quest for self-reliance is being boosted not only by the old defense PSUs, but also new and exciting players in the private sector, like Adani Defence. I'm at their Kanpur facility, which spreads around 500 acres with several segments of small, medium and large caliber ammunition production facilities coming up with a missile complex too. And with me is CEO of Adani Defence, Ashish Rajwanshi, who's going to show us around and tell us what are the plans that the company has for boosting India's self-reliance in every sector possible in defence, especially in ammunition, which is a critical factor in any war fighting that India may have to undertake going forward. Thank you, Ashish, for your time and for allowing us to come here.
Appreciate it. Yeah, welcome to Adani Ammunition and Missiles Complex.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
So, as I can see, it's like one of those modern facilities. I like this, the name, Swaraksha.
This is the starting point.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we talk about self-reliance, it starts with self-protection.
Correct.
So, Swaraksha actually reflects the ethos of what we are trying to do for the country, and rightly says for India and for the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this is not about India for India, this is about India for the global market.
Absolutely. So you produce here for the world, make in India for the world. So this is the tool room of the complex.
So the way the whole setup is there, we have a integrated small caliber ammunition facility.
Right.
So some of these labs are actually for testing, for carrying out some machine work, which is required as part of the processes.
Sure.
So this is one such tool room. But the most important is the quality and the processes which are being followed. Yeah, these are all benchmarked to the global markets. So the whole important thing was NATO standard ammunition, and first focus on the global market, and then we'll worry about anything else.
Correct.
So the people are certified, the machines are all certified, the processes have been certified, and this is what we want to supply to our armed forces, that they don't have to ever look back and say, yeah, they didn't get a quality product from Adani.
That's true. And in fact, you inaugurated this facility in February this year.
This was, last week of February.
Okay.
And within the last 3 months, everything has been streamlined, the production is happening.
Right.
And in fact, we have the first large order, which is again international, being supplied in the next 2 months.
Oh, that's great. And the kind of investment that you've done here, what's the quantum of investment?
The investment in the whole ammunition park is going to go beyond 3,000 crores.
Right.
The first phase, which is focusing on the small caliber,
Right.
will be touching roughly 1,000 crores of investment.
Okay.
Because one of the key philosophy for Adani is to ensure that we don't have to depend from a supply chain perspective on many other players.
Right.
Yeah, and we have seen what has happened in the case of warfare, that if even a single thing is coming from a country which can control your destiny,
Sure.
it becomes too difficult for running your...
They can squeeze you. anytime.
Squeeze you.
Yeah.
And if you're doing 10 or 20 million rounds, it's a different ball game. When you're doing 300 million rounds, it's a different ball game.
That's the capacity over.
That's the capacity for small caliber.
Small. And the small. When you say small caliber, for understanding for our viewers, it is 5.56.
It is 7.62, it is 9 mm, it is .338
Okay.
Lapua Magna.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And
So more or less the full range of small.
small caliber, which is there.
Right.
What you are seeing on the left is the first part of the whole process.
Right.
Yeah. And all these, again, the important thing was from a quality perspective, the starting point is having the right machines and the right people.
Right.
Yeah. All these are world-class machines which have been customized based on our processes.
And so when did you start planning for this? The conceptualization?
The conceptualization started actually not too far. It was only 2 years back.
Okay.
And this was not even knowing what's going to happen in the Russia-Ukraine or the Middle Eastern conflict.
Right.
This is something which was anyways a very huge requirement for India.
Correct.
That even if we have to sustain a couple of weeks war, how do you ensure that you have ample supplies,
Right.
which are going to take care of your requirements? This, for example, is a fully AI-driven bullet line. The only human intervention is to keep an oversight on this machine.
Right.
What you're seeing are these bullets,
Okay.
which are also going to be manufactured here.
Right.
But more importantly, once they go in,
Here. Okay.
you have this fully automated 6 cameras
Right.
with the AI running. The first slot on the left, if there's any issue, will be
Right.
rejected automatically
It'll go out
on the left one.
Right.
If everything is going fine, it will go into the accepted lot.
There it's going. Yeah.
So from a inspection / quality perspective, yeah, you are not depending on just a naked eye.
Right.
You're actually following a world-class process.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can see from a Six Sigma perspective, yeah, this is not like a single camera which is watching out.
Correct.
Yeah, this is from all the dimensions 3D,
Yeah.
which is being mapped out.
And so every bullet is actually being scrutinized.
It's being scrutinized. So this is not a sampling.
Yeah.
This is 100% assurance to my customer.
That's right. Quality assurance seems to be your byword, really.
Most important thing.
Exactly.
And the bullets and the cases from here
Right.
will go towards our priming line.
Right.
What you're seeing here, again, Nitin, what's important to appreciate is we didn't want this facility to look like a shop floor.
I can see that.
So this
You've
was-
actually made it into a nice, beautiful, very vibrant and bright kind of a facility. So this is after that it comes here.
It comes to the priming line.
Right.
So I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
The cases which are coming, you have to put the primer.
Right.
Yeah. So the cases already has PLR, which is
Right.
our company.
Okay.
Yeah. 7.62,
Right.
which is the
Yeah,
caliber.
the caliber. Yeah.
So based on this is going into the machine
Right.
where the primers are going to be loaded. Again, what you'll see is fully automatic machine.
Right.
So that is where the
That's
process
where
will
the-
run. Exactly. And what will come out,
Yeah. It's already primed
the
now.
priming has been
Yeah,
done.
priming has been done. So there to here and then it goes further up.
Yeah. So and we are running parallel lines.
Right.
So you can have 7.62, 5.56,
Right.
9 mm running in parallel.
And I can see that automation is the key word because very few people are working.
The whole plant is being run by 18 people.
That's all.
That's all.
That's something actually. I think in India, I don't think many people have this kind of a.
And see, one of the biggest challenge was because when you're handling explosives, it's very important there is minimal manual intervention.
Sure.
Yeah? When you're talking about precision manufacturing,
Sure.
it's very important. It's only for maintenance
Right.
or in case there is a breakdown that people are standing around. Otherwise, we don't want anything to be touched. Then everything is controlled through
Means here.
digital.
Okay.
So when the lot comes out, you can see the traceability.
Right.
We can go down to the last bullet
Okay.
and tell you which day from where the product came, what was the composition,
Absolutely.
and accordingly only after the clearance happens, it moves to the next lot.
Right. This is how the priming is done.
This is, you can see what's happening from a video perspective.
Right.
It's actually matching the camera image with the actual image to find any defects. So again, it is driven by AI rather than again driven by just measuring the dimensions
Or by naked eye.
or by naked eye.
So because it's so small and so precise,
Exactly.
I think it's
And all the parameters in terms of whatever they have to check before
Right.
it goes to, the priming has been done properly.
right. So this is the one intervening quality check here process and then going forward.
Exactly. And then once the cart is full, then it goes to the next station
Right.
for the loading station.
Okay. Nice.
So 7.62, 51,
Yeah.
5.56, these are all parallel lines which are running.
So parallel lines. And actually it doesn't look like a shop floor. It looks like, one of those futuristic shop floors, if you want to call it that.
It's completely high tech.
Yeah. So where did you get the expertise from?
Expertise, the people were actually trained over 6 months in Italy. It has been the philosophy of the group. There's nothing called theoretical training.
Right.
Whatever plants or capabilities we have set up, I've ensured that the people are actually working on the live line
Right.
and then coming back and applying that learning.
Okay.
And you'll see all the youngsters. Yeah, these are all between the age of 21 to 27.
Okay. So it's catching them young basically.
Very passionate. And these people know they're working for the country, they're doing something
Yeah.
where the purpose is bigger than the profits,
Exactly.
which keeps them excited.
Absolutely.
it goes into the loading section. So
Again, it doesn't look like a shop floor. It looks like scientific labs, basically.
exactly. So if you'll see, what's happening is your cases are here, the prime cases.
Right.
Your bullets are here,
Ah.
yeah, which have been done. So depending on whether you're doing 7.62 or 5.56,
Right.
the two things will change. They'll go into the machine.
Okay.
Again, from a most important part, which is safety, the propellant is coming from the hopper on the mezzanine floor.
Right.
And no one can touch the propellant
So there is no human intervention like you mentioned.
because
Or no
as soon as you touch the propellant,
Absolutely. It can explode or it can, have a
so
disastrous
in this
effect.
facility, no one can even say that explosive handling is
Exactly.
taken
And otherwise you can't get into an explosive handling facility.
like this.
Like this, exactly.
Come, I'll show it to you.
Yeah,
So now 1, 2, and the propellant is coming,
yeah. Right.
and the full integration is again happening
Now
through
it's happening, yeah.
automated
All
machines.
automated machines. And these are all bought specifically and tailor-made for you.
Tailor-made for us.
Okay.
So there was a waiting period of almost 3.5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we had to go a little bit extra in terms of the investments,
Right.
but it was very important that we get the right machinery.
Absolutely.
And now for the next 20 years,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
have to do anything much.
They're as modern as they can get anywhere.
Exactly. And you can see again that red light,
Right.
which is inspecting simultaneously,
And
and the
then
rejected pieces will
are
start
coming
coming
here.
here.
There's nothing there, I think. Not so far. Yeah, some pieces have come. Okay, so it's automated. I think that is the key for quality. And then world class, like you mentioned, if you have to export,
Exactly.
then people will just have to come and see this once, and they will,
Nothing else.
get into this. Yeah,
So
and
these
these
are
are
the
inspection
different
tables.
calibers.
Yeah. Right.
So if you come this side,
Yeah.
this is the 5.56,
Correct.
the cases
Right.
and the actual cartridge.
Correct.
This is the SS109,
Ah, that's a small one.
the smaller one, the 5.56, 45, and the 7.62,
Correct.
51.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So all this is getting done in this facility.
Excellent.
The two things which are currently coming from outside, one is propellant
Right.
and second is primer.
Okay.
But in the next 12 months, we'll have the primer facility also being done within the country.
Okay.
And then as a country, we have to think about propellant.
Propellants, where do you go from there? Whether it is also cost effective or not,
Absolutely.
that you have to figure out. So this is where your small caliber completely takes place. Now, obviously, there is a demand in India for all this. But the world over, what has been your experience about demand for small caliber?
So see, the global market is roughly $35 billion for small caliber,
Right.
yeah, across this 5.56, 7.62.
Okay.
And if anything, it's increasing by the day.
Right.
So the most important aspect is at the right price, good quality.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is again fully automated.
Yeah.
I'll take you there.
I haven't seen, I've seen some of the munition factories in India, of course, and a couple of them in Czechoslovakia, the old Czechoslovakia, but nothing like this. Yeah.
It's only two people just for keeping aside,
Right.
but everything it's getting loaded from that point
That's from there.
and it's coming after all the checks.
Right.
But just to ensure that there is a oversight from the people,
Okay.
but the minimal job.
Yeah.
If there's a visual defect,
Yeah.
if there's a critical defect,
And but these are again automated detection.
fully. And once these, now this is ready to supply,
Right. Okay. Fully
ready
ready.
to supply. And from here it goes to the packaging machine,
Acha. Again, that is automated.
which is also fully automated. So the checked bullet now is coming here
Right.
and moving into. You can see those boxes.
The cases, the boxes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the standard boxes. And if the customer has a specific requirement,
Right.
that can also be customized.
So these are about what, 10 bullets in a packet? A dozen perhaps.
5.5 to 30 pieces.
Because of small size.
Yeah. So these are the bigger ones.
Yeah.
And then you get these ready
There
boxes.
you are, yeah.
Oh, I can't touch them.
Yeah.
So 7.6 to 51 ball, M80.
Correct.
The barcode will give you the
barcode
full
is there.
traceability.
Right.
PLR is the name of the company.
Name of the company.
And 20 cartridges.
Right.
Yeah. So lot number and everything.
Everything. So it's all traceable everywhere. So it comes here and then it's packaged into.
It goes into the
cardboard
magazine
box storage.
for the inventory.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is
Excellent. So like you said, 18 people is amazing. I mean, I just still can't get over it.
But the most important thing, many a times people have this notion, job creation is not happening.
Right.
What they don't realize is
This is the box.
this is highly skilled, exactly,
This is how it goes.
in which it is packed and then supplied.
Wow.
This is the Army standard.
Army standard, yeah.
Army standard, MAT.
Right. So they have to store it also there.
Exactly.
Sorry, you were saying people don't realize.
Yeah, what they don't realize is the next gen of technology
Right.
will require skilled people
Correct.
who need to understand some of these quality processes, who need to understand AI, who need to understand technology.
Sure.
And then only they'll be able to appreciate and go up the value chain.
Yes.
If we'll keep making them the metal bashers, we are not actually helping the country.
No, then you are remaining in that industrial age.
Exactly.
I take this opportunity to welcome you to our shooting range. In fact, this is our country's largest private shooting range for small caliber ammunition and ballistic testing.
Right.
Here we carry out the proof testing and firing of small caliber ammunition manufactured in our facilities. We are equipped with cutting edge technology, right? So that we can evaluate various performance parameters of our small caliber ammunition here. Just to apprise you, I will just brief you about my layout of the shooting range. We have the two vaults here. One is the weapon vault and the ammunition vault. Basically, whatever samples we are getting from our facility, those are kept there, and accordingly, as per the requirement, as per the standards, we carry out various firing here, proof testing firing.
Okay.
Coming on to the layout of the shooting range, I have 4 firing cubicles here with me. One is the 30-meter range. Here we carry out basically the function and casualty test. The objective of function and casualty test is to ensure that apart from ballistic testing, my ammunition should function satisfactorily at extreme temperatures likely to encounter in the service. And there are no defects or casualties acceptable when I carry out the firing, maybe related to the bullets, cases, or the caps.
Okay.
So, and they are carried out as per the standards which are laid out in the NATO, AEP 97.
Okay.
Coming on to the next cubicle, this is the third cubicle and the fourth firing cubicle. This is a 300 meters range. Here we carry out the EPVAT testing. EPVAT is nothing but the electronic pressure, velocity and action time. Here we measure the pressure, velocity and the action time of the small caliber ammunition.
Okay.
This particular equipment is the latest equipment. It gives us very accurate and precise results as compared to the conventional methods. In the conventional methods, we are using the copper pressure gauges.
Okay.
Here we are using the transducers. I would like to show you how the transducers looks like.
Sure.
This is what the transducer. The technology is based on the GP6, gallium phosphate crystals. These are the transducers.
I see.
This is from the Austria, and this is the one which gives us the mean case mouth pressure, port pressure.
Okay.
And how it works, I'll just show it on the equipment. This is my
So in the whole country, no one is using
Nobody else.
EPVAT.
EPVAT. Okay.
They all are using the copper pressure gauges. We are the one, and with one round, we will get all the result, right, from the pressure.
And this will all be recorded here.
Recorded and displayed on the screen.
Right.
Here is the mean case. One transducer is fixed here,
Okay.
and the other is here. This gives the mean case mouth pressure, and this
Right.
gives the port pressure.
Okay.
And if you see at 24 meters, I have a screen here.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a light screen. It
Right.
gives us the observed velocity at 24 meters. And further at 100 meters, there is one more screen.
Right.
That is basically optical target. It gives me the precision and accuracy. It helps me to calculate the precision and accuracy of the small caliber ammunition. Our range is 300 meters.
Correct.
If I place it at 300 meters, I'll get that accuracy at 300 meters.
Okay. So you can
Yeah.
go on increasing the range
Yeah.
if you want.
And all the results are displayed on the screen.
Right.
If you permit, I can
Yeah, sure.
fire
Let's do
one
the
round.
final.
Please, please.
We are ready. We are firing one round. This is a round of 7.62 into 51.
Sure.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
If you see on the screen, these are the results which I am getting. I am getting the velocity.
Right.
Velocity is showing us 827. If
Okay.
you see as per the standards, my velocity should be between 825 plus minus 15. That is between 810 to 840 meter per second.
Okay.
I am getting 827.
Excellent.
0.8 meter per second. This P1 is the pressure, and P2 is the port pressure. This is the main case mouth pressure. This is the port pressure.
Okay.
And if you see this graph, this basically depicts the internal ballistic sequence inside the barrel.
Okay.
If you see when the firing pin strikes the primer, the cap composition of the primer, it ignites.
Right.
And accordingly, the propellant starts burning. And once the propellant starts burning, the rate of burning increases.
Correct.
The short start pressure is generated.
Right.
When the short start pressure is generated and the rate of burning increases, the pressure starts increases.
Going up
Yeah.
right
When
there.
the rate of burning decreases, the pressure comes down. This is the P2 pressure. We have the action time here, and the P2 pressure here. So all the results are displayed on the screen.
Immediately.
Yeah. And if you, I'll just show you one. When we fire 30 rounds,
Right.
how the result looks like. This is how the result will look.
So each of the bullets.
Yeah, all the
individual.
I will be getting the average velocity. I will get the average P1 pressure, P2 pressure, and plus 3 SD.
Okay.
So all those details I can calculate, and as per
Excellent.
the NATO standards and as per AP 97, all these results are given. And with one round, all the results are displayed
Wow.
here. Similarly, for accuracy, I have to fire at 21 degrees at ambient temperatures.
Right.
As per the standards, 90 rounds are there. So with 30 rounds, with 3 different barrels, I have to fire.
I see.
And accuracy results are also quite good. I can show you the result what I have
Yeah,
with
sure.
me.
No, I'm sure.
And
But this it's this process again, for my understanding, it's called EPVAT.
EPVAT,
Okay.
electronic pressure, velocity, and action time.
Okay.
All 4 components in one. This thing.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Which is rare. Nobody
Yeah,
else in
yeah.
India
Otherwise,
has this.
in the other setups, what we have in India, they are using copper pressure gauges, and they have to use different barrels for different tests. For pressure, they have to use different
Oh,
barrels.
I see.
For velocity, again,
But then how will they use the same bullet for different barrels and
they have to take the samples.
Samples.
And those samples at different times,
Right.
they have to
You're
fire.
saving time also
Time
and
also
plus
and-
also
and-
quality.
On a single bullet.
On single bullet.
Because to your point,
Correct.
the pressure may be fine on the one
One
of them,
this thing, yeah,
and the
exactly.
velocity may be fine on the
Correct,
other one.
exactly.
And
So
you're just assuming everything will be
yeah,
converging.
yeah. So this is, I think, it's all integrated and
Under one
brought
umbrella,
together.
all the facilities are there.
Correct.
And like I get EPVAT here, I get the precision here, I get the function casualty, and to condition my this thing ammunition, I have chambers. I'll show you that.
Right.
Also. Here is the setup
Acha,
for
okay.
function. Actually, we basically carry out the after the ballistic testing,
Right.
we carry out function casualty test. SS 109 and 7.62 and other variants.
Right.
We carry out this as per the NATO standards.
Okay.
We have basically
Actually,
720.
we need the earmuffs.
Yeah. Let's start. 7.62 into 51.
Right.
AR assault rifle.
Okay. Absolutely.
Fire accordingly.
No, it's very well done.
You'd like to fire?
Yeah, why not? Now that we have seen your firing range and also your small caliber facility, what are the next steps in this facility?
The next steps are 3 things which we are doing in parallel.
Right.
One is doubling the small caliber capacity.
Okay.
So when we envisioned the whole small caliber requirements, we started with 150 million rounds,
Right.
but in the next 12 months it will double to 300 million rounds.
Okay.
That's number one.
Right.
Number two is what we discussed on the 155 mm artillery.
Sure.
The construction is on.
Right.
Everything is in place. March, April 25, up and running.
Right.
And the third, what we discussed on the short range missiles and the 70 mm rockets, that's going to be the third parallel capability,
Okay.
which in the next 12 months will become operational.
Right.
So ULPGM, VSHORAD as well as the 70 mm
Okay.
will all be getting delivered and dispatched from this facility. And in the meantime, the magazines and the storage is coming up on the opposite side.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot more ancillary units are coming up.
Right.
So you'll see a very fast expansion
So even the ecosystem will get developed around this place.
already happening.
Already.
Yeah,
happening.
because people are reaching out, they want to participate in the growth story.
Right.
So a number of these tier 2, tier 3 partners are actually coming and saying we can set up a dedicated line
Right.
which can become a supply into this complex.
Sure.
And a lot of positive support from the government also, because they actually want this not to be just a Adani
Showcase.
unit, but it's an ecosystem of defense capabilities in UP.
It's going to be a defense cluster.
It's a defense
It's
cluster.
one of the most modern defense clusters that is there. You of course have Adani Defence is not only limited to this facility. You already have a facility in Hyderabad and you have one in Gwalior. We'll
And
certainly go
Bangalore.
there.
Absolutely.
And Bangalore.
Bangalore.
But just tell us a little bit about those 2-3 facilities in brief. What are
So
they?
this is going to be everything around explosives and ammunition.
Right.
The one in Gwalior is focused on guns.
Right.
So small arms, but even what we are participating now in the MGS and the TGS,
Right.
the artillery guns will be done in Gwalior.
Okay.
So again, it's a big complex, and we're happy to take you in the future.
Sure.
Yeah, but the full range of assault rifles, light machine guns, under the grenade launcher,
Right.
the pistols. are
And a
all-
barrel grenade launcher.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So all are getting done there along with mounted gun systems.
Right.
You go towards Hyderabad, that's the biggest complex what you saw.
Yes.
I think you participated on 10th of January
Right.
for our drone ecosystem.
Correct.
So from the male large Drishti 10 star liner all the way to tactical birds is happening in Hyderabad. The country's first kamikaze drone facility is actually coming up.
Okay.
In the next 2 months, you're going to find the strategic loitering getting delivered to Indian Air Force
Okay.
from Hyderabad.
Right.
The anti-drone systems are coming up there, and the mechanical and the cold section of the missiles where we are participating with DRDO is coming up in, is already happening in Hyderabad. So long-range glide bomb,
Right.
the NASAM are currently under manufacturing
Sure.
in Hyderabad.
Right.
And then we have these ancillary units of our Alpha Design, Autotech, which are part of the complex.
Right.
Bangalore is more electronics. So Alpha is a facility close to the airport.
Yeah.
In the SEZ which is there.
Correct.
So software defined radios, optoelectronics, the radars is all getting done as part of this. And also the GCS and the GDT and those kind of things.
Right. So you've got three different focus areas as I can see.
Yeah, so see what we call our 9 capabilities,
Right.
but you can club them into 3 or 4 big areas.
Correct.
So one is everything around unmanned.
Right.
And unmanned is, we are having an R&D program even on unmanned underwater submarines.
Right.
So it could be unmanned ground, it could be unmanned aerial, it could be unmanned underwater.
Right.
So for me, that is the future. I'll be very candid about
Absolutely.
it. Yeah. You combine this with your ammunition, ammunition of every type, what we're talking about.
Correct.
And then these capabilities give you loitering.
Sure.
Yeah. So you see what's happening in
The lethality comes in there.
the Red Sea, what's happening in Israel, Hamas.
Right.
The loitering becomes so much important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it will start becoming smaller and smaller. So it's a segmentation and target of one.
Right.
That if without any collateral damage, I need to focus on a single target.
correct.
Yeah, that's how the technology will evolve.
Sure.
So now this is not about the breadth of the portfolio. This is about the depth of the portfolio.
Absolutely. Which I think is the future, and it's a very well calibrated strategy because you can have there are a number of range of products, but there's no then concentration on one particular expertise
Exactly.
or two particular expertise.
Then there's no point.
Yeah, there's no point.
And then combine this with maintenance, repair, overhaul, which is very important because it's not just about supplying these and forgetting it.
Right.
So space, maintenance, ensuring things are not going out of the country is a key area for us in whatever we are doing.
Right.
So even for the guns, there were some challenges in the past. They were not finding spares, the support from the OEMs.
Right.
But now it's all
You've
within the
got
country.
everything there. So you've got a whole ecosystem. I mean, from A to Z, you can say really that you're building like this.
So and again, the intention is at least in 3 years from now, we should not be importing even a small detector from France or Israel or other places. And India, if you look at the talent, it all exists.
It's all exists.
So why not?
So defense as part of the larger Adani group, how big is it a pie in that group?
Well, see, we started like only in 2019.
Right.
It has been 5 years.
Yes.
And you know some of the challenges
Exactly.
of this sector.
Yeah.
So, but because the philosophy was different, we were not waiting for the orders to happen, but put up the capabilities. We have ramped up really fast. So, in the next 5 years, again, the intention is you have to be either number 1 or number 2. And again, how do you measure that in terms of customer impact?
Sure.
The customer has to say what we are getting from Adani is world class.
Well, yeah.
So I don't want to put a number,
No,
but
sure.
the country is throwing up an opportunity which is once in a lifetime. And we're talking about almost $25-30 billion of procurement every year. So over the next 10 years, we're talking $250 billion.
Absolutely.
So I don't think the pie is an issue.
Yeah.
Issue is winning the customer confidence
Right.
and reliable
And delivering it and executing it.
in time.
And as I can see it from the group, from what you're saying, is that it's not one business or one segment or one sector is focused on. Everything is up for running and executing. That's how it is. But this is one of the key areas of nation, supporting the nation's efforts.
Absolutely.
Atmanirbharta, like you keep saying. Right? Great. Ashish, since we took a tour of this very modern facility, all that, and you've spoken about the future of Adani Defence, future planning that you have. What has been your kind of high point so far as far Indian Armed Forces are concerned? Are they supportive of the efforts for Atmanirbharta, and are they looking at this as something that they can depend on going forward?
So I think, see, all of us know how the policymakers and the customers have started to transition from a pure import-based to an indigenous philosophy, and any such change after 75 years will take some time.
Right.
And we come from a very optimistic background.
Sure.
So whenever this conversation happens, at least within Adani, it's about, are you taking a 10 years view,
Right.
or you're taking a 12 months view?
Right.
So from a 10 years view, I think we are very well placed as a country.
Sure.
The vibrancy which is coming in the ecosystem is definitely worth appreciating, because it's not only the large industries but also the MSMEs, the startups, the innovation which have started to bud in even the academic institutions like the IITs and the ITIs. I think the whole ecosystem and what we call whole of nation approach
Right.
is visible in this whole thing. In terms of support, again, the customer is very clear that we definitely want to support self-reliance, but ensure we are not compromising on time, we are not compromising on cost, and quality.
Absolutely.
And this is an onus on the industry also,
Right.
that we have to deliver to customer expectations.
Correct.
And just in the name of Make in India, we can't be pushing them into something which is suboptimal.
Sure.
So it's going to be a little bit of a give and take relationship, that once we establish this credibility with the customer, that what they're getting is actually world class at the same level as what they were getting earlier, they will not look outside.
Sure. I mean, in fact, I would support what you are thinking and what the way you are constructing it is because if you've seen the last 10 years, it has taken, say, the first 3-4 years to change the mindset. Then, coming into the acceptance level of, okay, Mark 1, Mark 2 products coming in. And then, like you said, obviously the armed forces are looking for a quality product which will help them prosecute a conflict or a war.
Exactly.
So, which I'm sure you're going to do that. So that was a great, kind of insight into what the Adani philosophy is in defense, and I think world-class facilities that are being created.
Thank you.
So I must compliment, the vision and the planning that the company has. I'm sure the founder,
Absolutely.
Mr. Gautam Adani,
Goes to Gautam bhai.
yeah, exactly. But you are the one who's executing it on the ground. So compliments to you too and your team
Thank you so
for
much.
doing this, and thank you for this opportunity to
Thank you.
take
Thank you for
a
coming all the way.
tour.
Highly appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure.
Looking forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Ashish Rajvanshi, CEO of Adani Defence, telling us about the company's plans in the defence sector. Of course, it's part of a larger conglomerate, and of course, supporting India's quest for self-reliance in not just in defence, but everything else. And that is why we thought we'll do this edition of On the Shop Floor here in Kanpur, which is a comprehensive facility, an integrated ammunition complex, as you can see, where all kinds of ammunition is being manufactured with state-of-the-art machinery and support system that they have created here. That's all I have, but keep watching Bharat Shakti. We'll keep bringing to you such programs in the future too. I'm Nitin Gokhale. Next week, we visit a company that produces and manufactures smart fences for the modern times. A1 Fence is our next destination. Watch it next week.